But thank you very much for your time. As Jill introduced me earlier, I am the Eagle County Commissioner, but I come from a lot of years, 30 plus years in the world of early childhood, and I still see most things through the lens of children and families. And that's really what I'm going to talk about a little bit today. As I said, I was a teacher and a director and then a trainer in early childhood. I worked for Colorado Mountain College. I worked as a trainer. Go to a conference on early childhood, and there's thousands of people there, and the room that has the words behavior on the title of this is the topic we're going to talk about overflows the way this one does. And behavior really does come down to how competent children are with their social emotional skill building. How are they feeling about themselves, and how are they regulating themselves? And this impacts their behavior in the classroom. It impacts their lives at home. It impacts the lives of the teachers that are trying to help them. And so that's my background. I will say Eagle County started working in the early childhood field back in early 2000 when the then Director of Human Services was getting phone calls from child care providers saying, I've got kids, they need therapy. We don't know what else to do for them. And there were lots of phone calls, and she then hired a whole lot of consultants that would go in and work in the child care programs, helping the teachers set up environments that would make these children successful, and providing the therapy that they needed. For some of the kids, they really did need some therapy. But really it was about working with the kids and the teachers and the parents to figure out the solutions. And so what I see really right now in my role as commissioner is that we need to be better at being responsive to the children and the families and what they say their needs are. We do have programs, they're limited programs, but they are programs as opposed to services that we can provide. They're programs that people have to qualify for, whether it's based on income or the fact that you work or that your child can get into this program that has limited capacity. We need to have programs and services that are really prescribed by the parents, that the parents can say, this is what I need. This is what will make my child successful, to make our family successful. We need to wrap services around families. Kids are in families, and we need to not think so much about what does the child need, but what does the whole family need? What does the community need to help these families be successful? You know, the kids don't live on their own. They live with families. They live in communities. So let's let the families figure out who needs the therapy, who needs the skill building. Is it the child that needs skill building? Is it the teacher that needs skill building? Is it the parent? Who needs the therapy? Who needs the skill building? Who needs the support? And then what does that support look like? Is it basic cash assistance? We have such a small program of basic cash assistance. I know there's legislation to expand what that amount is, but it doesn't actually expand who qualifies for it. So few of our families qualify for it. Read recently about something we can do to lessen the suicide rate is to raise minimum wage. So maybe that's the stressor in somebody's life, is simple cash assistance. Maybe that frees them up to be able to not have 3 jobs, to be able to be present with their children when they're home. So what I'm really advocating for is to put children in the center of the family and then in the center of the community, but let the family be the one who direct those programs. I think first off, what we need is a universal screening for something like the ACEs, Adverse Childhood Experiences, so that we know that when families are raising children that we've taken care of what the family is bringing to the situation. We know that you can't give what you don't have. So if you're not calm and without stress, you can't have children who are calm and without stress. So how do we take care of that? We need care navigators to to help families navigate what are the programs that are available within our community, what is it that you specifically need. We obviously need an increase of services for families, but again, we need to have services that don't have a qualification to them. You know, it's just a need. If you can express a need, you get in the program, as opposed to you have to be under a certain income or under a certain age. And then how do we wrap those services around the kids and the families? And so that's what I'm seeing, and I appreciate you so much for being here and hearing about what the community is seeing, and I so appreciate the people who are sharing their personal stories. And I hope we can get some good stuff accomplished.